Well, the Pistons played their last game at the Palace of Auburn Hills yesterday, and as they now head to the new Little Caesars Arena in Detroit once their last regular season game on the road ends tomorrow at the Magic. The Detroit Red Wings played their last game as well at the Joe Louis Arena, defeating the New Jersey Devils. They're moving down to Little Caesars Arena as well. Why? I don't know. I'm not a fan of hockey, but I would like to know. I've seen the farewell season commercial for the Red Wings. I mean, it's sad the team is leaving Joe Louis since being there back in 1979, winning 11 Stanley Cup championships. So why the move? At least the Red Wings won their last game. The Pistons did not, as they lost to the Wizards 105 to 101 at the Palace. Seriously, it was very important for the Pistons to win at home for the fans. The Pistons legends that were there. Pistons legends such as Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed and Ben Wallace. Jerry Stackhouse was even there. Wish Grant Hill and Joe Dumars were there. But the team still lost. I bet the Pistons legends were disappointed and unhappy with the loss. Either way, the Pistons have been unfortunately eliminated from the playoffs. I thought they were slightly better on paper than they were last year. They were fine when Ish Smith was starting at point guard as Reggie Jackson's replacement. Then when Jackson returned recovering from his injuries, the team went downhill as a whole. Hopefully next season they will be better at the new arena. So many memories at the Palace. The Palace has been there for almost 30 years. And they leave the Palace after spending 29 years there. The Bad Boy Pistons winning the 1989 to 1990 titles. Grant Hill was a beast in the 90s before injury screwed him up and his career. The Pistons won their third title in 2004. It was great because I thought the Lakers were going to beat the Pistons. I was like, oh crap, the Lakers are going to beat them. But the Pistons, they pulled it off, especially the last three games at home. They did not want to go back to L.A. They wanted to finish the Lakers off. The Pistons, unfortunately, didn't win the championship again in 2005 as the Spurs beat them in 7 games. But the team was still great from the 2004-2005 season to the 2007-2008 season. They just never won a championship ever again since. Boy, I remember that Malice at the Palace, that Pistons-Pacers brawl back in 2004. Man, I remember it was my first year of high school in the 9th grade. People was just talking about it. I mean, Ben Wallace pushed Ron Artest. Ron Artest out of nowhere just goes ape, goes crazy after a Piston fan threw a drink at him. And the Piston fan that threw the drink at him, apparently Ron Artest, he hit the wrong guy. But then the one guy that he threw the drink at Artest, he starts grabbing him and stuff. I'm sure Artest eventually started hitting him. But the guy that threw the drink at Artest, the funny thing is, looking back at this, to this day, Artest and the Piston fan that threw a, a drink at him, they're friends now. Who would have thunk that would have happened? And Steven Jackson started punching fans. Jermaine O'Neal definitely went ape and just beat the stew out of everybody. And then as the Pacers started going back to the locker room, it was so immature and just messed up for the Pistons to just throw popcorn and drinks at the Pacers players. It's like, guys, grow up. That was so immature. That's okay, because I heard those Pistons fans that did that, they pretty much have been suspended from the Pistons games. As in, they can never go to a Piston game ever again. It serves them right. Come on, man. You can't be doing that. Hopefully things will get better for the Pistons. I think the Pistons need to trade Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond, but I doubt that'll happen. But I do hope they trade them, because Reggie Jackson, oh my goodness, good player, but he seems like a cancer, especially in the locker room. And I heard when he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder, he was a cancer in the locker room. And I heard that Kevin Durant, when Reggie Jackson was traded to the Pistons, He was like, good riddance. I'm glad he's not on our team anymore. Durant was happy that Reggie Jackson was not in OKC anymore. I can't blame him because Reggie Jackson's doing the same thing with the Pistons. And there's a reason why Reggie Jackson was traded from the Thunder to the Pistons. Not just because he didn't like the fact that he was coming off the bench being a backup to Russell Westbrook, but he was just a cancer to the team. And what I don't understand is why Reggie Jackson was so bent out of shape about him coming off the bench being Westbrook's backup. Like, what's the big deal? You should be happy and honored to be a backup to one of the best point guards in the NBA today. You're going to come off the bench and get your points playing behind Westbrook, so what's the problem? And Reggie Jackson is one of those players that needs to realize that everyone in the league is not going to start. You're going to have players that are going to start. You're going to have players that come off the bench. But no, he couldn't embrace being a role player off the bench. Too damn bad, Reggie Jackson. Get over yourself. Stop being a freaking cancer to every team you go. Because if you keep doing this, you're going to end up in free agency and you're going to join Andrew Bynum. You want that, Reggie Jackson? Man, some of these players today, they get on my nerves with their attitudes. They drama kings, drama queens, whatever. Suck it up. And Andre Drummond, he's a good player. But he is so inconsistent every single day and night when there is a game play. He doesn't bring it every game. He can't be dominant consistently like he should. Like Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins and even Karl Anthony Towns, for crying out loud. You know, those are the guys you can take over Drummond. Heck, I would take Whiteside. Heck, Joel Embiid, when healthy. He's better offensively than Drummond. I mean, Embiid, before he got injured, the guy was averaging like 20.2 points per game. Drummond has never averaged 20.2 points per game yet in his career. I want Drummond to step it up and start being a dominant big man. And I am sick and tired of him grabbing the ball with one hand. Like, hello, grab the ball with two hands. Why you always gotta grab it with one hand? And then he's doing these head case idiotic stuff. Like, he'll pretty much lay it up and he tries to do like finger rolls like he's freaking George Gervin. Hey, you are a center, not a guard. Stop doing that knucklehead crap. That's like with Josh Smith. Josh Smith, it seems like he majority of the time relied on shooting threes instead of going to the post and backing down and dunking on dudes. He relied on his three-point shooting the most. Like he's Ray Allen or Reggie Miller or Dirk Nowitzki or Peja Stojakovic. It's like, cut it out. Hopefully maybe Drummond can have a breakout season, but I highly doubt it. I know he's 23 years old and all, but he should have gotten himself together by the time he was 21. Okay, it's fine. You get a pass if you're 18, 19, 20, but you're not 18, 19, or 20 anymore. You should have got yourself together when you were 21. Okay? No excuses, man. He's been in the league for 5 seasons now. Enough is enough. Anyways, this has been my video. Good luck to the Red Wings and the Pistons at the Little Caesars Arena. So long to the Pals of Auburn Hills. Born 1988, gone this year, April 10th, 2017. The memories at the Palace will live on.